Hello everyone, welcome back to the course. So in this course we will be starting a new project and setting up units, and we will be starting up with levels and grids. So we will be drawing those two elements, datum elements. So how do we start the project? On the left side you can see that new, you can start with a new project template. We are working with a structural template. Let's go and say okay. If any case, if you're not able to find these details, if you are in 2023, so you may not be installed your Revit libraries properly. So go to Autodesk, search for Google and Autodesk libraries for 2023. So there are different language versions available. You can go and download as a exe file. It will come as I believe. You can double click and install. So it will go and properly sit in your locations of library locations, which is this. So if you're not able to find proper locations, you can find it C:program data Autodesk Revit 2023 or whatever the version that you are using, template English. So I'm using an English version, so you see that it is you can go back and you can find that there is a English Imperial and English. So if it is a normal English, so it is a metric template that you can see it, Imperial, which leads into so feet and inches. Let's go with structural template and select OK. So we have opened our project. Let's start with unit settings. In every template there will be a settings related to units. By default it is done already. So for in this case you can go to manage tab and you will be able to see all the settings. Maximum settings are available in this manage tab. So our unit settings are also available in this tab. So we can cover it based on the requirement one by one tools, or if you have a time you can go one by one. In my case I'm going to go and see that project units. The shortcut it is UN, and you'll be able to get this dialog box. So by default the unit, you can see that length value, it is in millimeters. As I said, we took English, so English relates to millimeter in this case. So if you want to change into feet and inches, you can change it as the unit goes by on decimal places, zeros and ones you can change, and unit even you can apply millimeter in the end of the dimension. So let me go ahead and select OK. I'm not changing anything in this place. If you have any units related to structural, so which is leads to structural parameters, it could be an energy parameter, force. So force usually measured in kilonewton, so you can see that these parameters are available here. So you can check common and you can check structural at the same time, and you can select OK. So now if I'm trying to draw any object from structural element and beam, you can see that the dimensions are in millimeter. If I'm changing the unit value, coming back and changing this as millimeter at the end, so if I'm drawing it, you can see that 4000 millimeter it shows. So in my case you can see that it is in coarse and the beam unit is showing as a single line. I can change this into fine so that I will be able to see the size section properly. Going back to the unit again, and I'm changing this unit value millimeter into none again, and feet and inches. I like to change this into feet and fractional inches and select OK. Okay. Now if I select the same element, now you will be able to see that this is changing into 13 feet and some inches. So okay, let's make unit go back to the normal position as millimeter. So it is not like AutoCAD that unit that you have to manually you have to scale the object. Revit is very intuitive, it automatically change the geometry of the Revit. So let's we are drawing it in level 2, and we can go to level 1 also if you want. So the object will not be visible because we have drawn it in the level 2 element. So what I'm saying, you can go to the north view and see what does it mean. You can see that the element which is placed by default on level 2, because I placed the element from level 2 in this place. So if I'm placing element which is in the level view, so I'm considering that you are new, you don't know anything about Revit, so I'm explaining in that case. So let me draw this object in level 1. If I'm going to the north view, and you will be able to see that now level 1 also has object. So coming to the point, level. So as I said in the earlier tutorial, level is one of the datum element, so it holds the object. So for example, this object, you can see that it moves within. When I move the object, it's constrained with that particular object. So the datum element, this beam is constrained with it, so it moves automatically. How do we create the level? So what happens if I delete this level? So if I delete this level, so you listen to this error. Whenever Revit pops up an error, you listen to it and read it properly and try to understand what it says. So it's going to delete along with the selection 4 elements, and 2 views will be deleted. So views structural plan 2 will be deleted, structural plan analytical will be deleted. You can see that these 2 views will be going to be deleted. I'm selecting OK. Now you will see that this object, it is still be there, but views are gone. And if I'm selecting this element, you'll be able to see that previously it was assigned with the work plane level as level 2. Now it is assigned with not associated. If I'm selecting the level 1 beam, you can see that level 1 it is available. So it's a non-hosting element, so we have to reassign particular level to that. So I'm making Control Z to this, so the level 2 will come. How do we create a new level? For example, level 3. If you say that there are 10-story building, so we have to create a level by ourselves by going into the by default you will be in structural tab. I'm considering if you are in architectural tab also, there is a Datum panel in both the options. You have to be in elevation, any one of the elevation view or section view to draw this. If you are in plan view, say level 1, you will not be able to see this level option. So if you are in elevations, you will be able to see the level option, and you can draw wherever you need it. You can see that it's constraining, aligning automatically with the edge of the level, another level. So I can draw it at any distance, so that I want it to from here, and you can see that the value elevations from 0 to it is 5.92, it is there. So I can go ahead and select it, and I will be able to change this as 6. So each level will have a gap of 3 meters, and we can measure the dimension also from here, align dimensions. So if you can measure 3 meter, and the other one it is 3 meter. So once while you are drawing the level, make a note. So as I said in the earlier tutorial, whenever you're taking any options in Revit, so the option bar will be showing different options. If you are escaping, so you won't be able to see anything. If you are taking level, and you will be able to see options. And you also see that we draw the level 3, and you see that the level 3 view, it is available. And reason is that make plan view, it says. So it's creating a plan view for us. So if I'm not doing this, you see our level head, you can see a difference. This level head, it has a blue shadow, and this level doesn't have a blue shadow. It's a black color because it doesn't have a level. So let me create one more level with the plan and plan views. You can see that what plan view you needed. Floor plan, normal floor plan, or structural plan, or ceiling plan. So each plans have a property, their own properties. So we are selecting only structural plan. I'm going to go ahead and create another level. Now you see that it is in blue shadow, you can see it. So level 4, level 5, automatically it will take in numerical value will be incremented. So wherever you draw it, it could be on the bottom, so the name will be incremented by default. So what to do for the level 4? So we need to create a view. So we are talking about views, so you can go easily understand that Revit or tabs. We are talking about views, so go to view tab, and we are talking about creating a view, so it's create panel, and we are trying to create a floor plan of structural floor plan. Now you can see that only level 4 doesn't have a view, so it will show level 4 in this place. Select OK. The view will be created and opened by default. You can see in dark color, it means it's opened. Or otherwise, if you want to go back to the level 3, double click on the level 3 and it will be opened. So this is how you will be able to create your levels, and you will be able to create the associated views also. So now coming back to the next element, which is grid element, which is also one of the datum element. As you know that levels, grids and reference planes are the datum elements. So I'm trying to create a datum element which is grid, and you know that columns are constrained with levels origin point, levels intersecting point. You know that in Revit there are options. While you are taking in line options, you will be able to see a couple of options here. You can draw a grid. In recent version you will be able to draw it in arc shape also, but the previous version it's only straight lines. So you will be able to draw a line like this, or you will be able to draw an arc like this. So you try and use these options and see what can be done. So I'm going to draw grids which are going to be go like in this direction, and you see that by default it will take a numerical head number, and I'm going to do the second number like this, and I'm going to use the pick line option, and I'm going to offset this by 3 meter. So I'm giving 3m means Revit understands 3 meter and it automatically applies in millimeter 3000. And you can see that if I'm clicking onto the right side, you see left or right, to the right side, to the right side. By default I'm making control is that it's gone to the left side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I like to keep moving this as distance between these elements. I like to keep it as 3 meter. So I'll be selecting these element like this after applying the dimension, and it's 3 meter. So I need to create an horizontal grid lines also. If I'm drawing like this, you can see that it makes a continuous line. As you know that it should not be a continuous line. So it should be a value like this, and I like to keep both the side. I need to have a grid heads. So you know that in Revit, whenever you need a property or talking about a property of a particular element, you can select that element, and there are two properties available. One is instance property here, and one is type property in the edit type. So now we are talking about for the all grids we need a head for the all the ends. So I'm selecting these options and taking this end one option, and I can select OK. Now you will be able to see the bubbles on both the end, and now you see that by mistake I have placed number 6 in the same place. I can move this. Okay, I can move this a little bit. Now we have a grid number A, so now we can create another grid with maybe a 6 meter or 5 meter gap. So since we created our numerical number is 10, but we have initiated A as a grid value last time, so Revit automatically understands us the next will be B and C automatically. It would be a horizontal or vertical, so it will create a sequential number from the before value only. So let's create F, G. Let me create one more, H. So this is how you will be able to create your grids, and you will be able to change their property in here. What about level property? Yes, you will be able to select the level, and you see that the grids are came here. The perpendicular grids to this level will be shown here, and if I select this level, then you will have a property to the level also. So I like to keep it this as 12.5 meter, and if you move right side, the value will be applied. You can apply it here or in this place. And as like in grids, you will be able to select the level, and you will be able to enable the heads on both the ends or only one ends, and you will be able to stretch this to the right side by selecting this grip, and you will be able to move it to the right side. If you feel that grids are disturbing, you can move it to the top side and to the left side like these. Coming back here, and as like in elevation view, in plan view also you will be able to stretch up and down because these all are constrained together. You can select it and remove the constraint, and you can move only one grid separately as like this. Now remaining grids are like these. So, and if you want to make a alignment, so you can stretch it up to this edge and it will be aligned. And now if you move, it will be constrained by default. These are the small features, actually small options available within Revit. So the constraints, so it will be much more helpful as compared with the other softwares. So as I told you, these are the three options we wanted to discuss in this studio. So if you need further any other things that I missed, if you want to explain it in more detail, so you can leave your comments below. I will be able to address it. Do share it with your learning friends. As I told you, it is a series of tutorials are coming for Revit structure, and we are BIMmodeler.com. We do BIM modeling services for architecture, structural, and MEP design consultant, and I also work with different manufacturers to create their products as BIM models, BIM objects. Do let me know if any inquiries. See you on the next tutorial. Bye bye.